Dr. Mike Israetel has a PhD in exercise science, nearly 2 million YouTube subscribers, and is one of the most respected names in nutrition. So when he posted his full day of eating at 6% body fat, I had to watch it, but I was not prepared for what I saw. This man, who is a nutrition scientist, is eating a loaf of bread and boiled chicken with no seasoning. And I'm gonna show you exactly what he could have eaten for the exact same amount of calories and protein. So let's get into it. I'm gonna jump into the Campy tour and you can come with me.
Fellas, I am coming out of my bedroom. It is the morning, a big day of eating and training ahead. I'm going to show you guys how to do a few things. One is organize your day for eating and how I do it. Two is using the Art Diet Coach to help you. And three is how to live in an apartment in which everything is white. Am I an insane asylum?
I like him for his sense of humor. He's a pretty funny guy. Some controversies about him out there, but I think he's funny.
Start pretty much every morning out with supplements, creatine, NMN, and CBD gummies to manage the side effects on the brain from taking special sports supplements.
By special sports supplements, he's talking about steroids. He opened up about his mental health issues a while back and how taking steroids exacerbates his anxiety. And also, I think it also makes him depressed or something. But yeah, way to go. Start your day with 72 pills. Which, by the way, speaking of supplements, most of you guys don't need any of this shit except maybe creatine monohydrate. Even then, you don't really need it. And some basics could be vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids. Those are some of the essentials that you need. So, like a typical essential, what do they call it? A multivitamin, that will do just fine for y'all.
Will not be shown in this video for illegal reasons. And then I make 3 of these at a time. So I get 21 days of supplements. I got all kinds of stuff in here, but fish oils and stuff, blood pressure medications.
Fish oil is good.
Metformin, things like that, enhanced folks use to stay alive slightly longer to make better gains.
So most of this shit is him needing all these supplements and all these drugs so that he can counteract his steroid use. And he's very open about his steroid use. So, nothing necessarily wrong with, he's not a bad person because he's using steroids. It just comes with terrible side effects.
Well, all I do is I take all these supplements in the morning and then I go and do bathroom things. After that, I will be making my workout shake because I don't actually eat anything in the morning first thing. That workout shake I will consume during the gym.
He doesn't eat anything before the workout. Okay. He's technically working out fasted, but he's making a shake, so he's going to be drinking it throughout the workout. So I want to touch on the fact that a lot of people are thinking, or maybe thinking, this as an exercise scientist, he knows what he's talking about. Fasted workouts, fasted cardio burns fat. No, it doesn't. He's a weirdo, as you'll see with his diet. Watch what he combines. His shake is morbid.
A little bit after, and then my first actual human food meal is going to be after the gym. So yeah, I train sort of fasted, even though I do start sipping my shake right when the workout begins. Next up, we will make a workout sheet together, and I will take it and go train. And always the protein I use, sometimes I use it pretty good. I'd recommend in most.
See what I mean? Bro, what the fuck is this? He's combining fudge brownie protein powder with fruit punch Gatorade powder with an electrolyte mix. That's grapefruit salt into one big ass bottle. Why? Why are you doing this to yourself? It doesn't have to be like this, man. You could make 3 different, or you know what? Not even 3 different. You could combine the Gatorade and the electrolyte, which would, taste probably kind of like those would complement each other because they're fruits. Why the fuck are you mixing dairy with this sports drink? But by dairy, I mean the protein powder. And I don't understand it, man. Really don't get it. It cannot taste good. Maybe I should make a video trying it.
Cases using a fruit-based protein or a vanilla protein if you're going to make a shake out of it. Something that doesn't have a lot of oomph to it. But I am a savage. So today I'll be using this whey protein, Gatorade, got my element salt for hydration. I make it all in this one giant container and really fill it up pretty damn close to the brim. So this is multiple liters of water.
It was fucking gross.
5 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs.
By the way, you don't need his Diet Coach app. You can use MyFitnessPal, which is free. You don't have to pay for the subscription to track your calories. I've never used his app, so I don't know. I mean, if you want to use it, you can.
Gatorade, pretty close to 0 fats, and a whole element packet. What that does for me is it gives me a drink that mutes muscle wasting, mutes catabolism because of the protein and carb presence during the workout. As you guys know, workouts are a little bit catabolic during the time that they happen. The anabolism or muscle growth speeds up afterwards. This shake gives me energy because of the carbohydrates. It primes anabolism with the decent amount of protein.
Look, there's nothing wrong with not having breakfast if you don't like having breakfast and if you don't get hungry. But if you were a normal person, would you rather not just, I don't know, have a piece of toast and some eggs before the workout? Maybe that's what I would probably do. Or have some levels of like something that's not as depressing. So for example, like what I would do for in this case is I would take a Chobani Greek yogurt, the 20-gram complete one, 140 calories, 20 grams of protein, pretty much the same shit as this protein shake. Tastes way better. I would not combine chocolate with Gatorade, by the way. I would never do that. I would eat the yogurt, and then I would make 1 or 2 eggs. I'd take 2 eggs, scramble it up, put it into 2 slices of bread, maybe a fat-free cheese or light mozzarella. Let's say it has 60 calories, 7 grams of protein. The eggs, 2 eggs has 12 grams of protein. That's 19 grams of protein. Plus 20 grams of protein from the yogurt, right? That is 39 grams of protein. And 39 grams of protein will counteract catabolism. And when he says catabolism, that means muscle breakdown. When you're fasted for a very long time, it does, catabolism does start happening. Not at a significant level, but when you're as advanced as these guys are in such a low body fat percentage and they're, that's their career, it matters. Like it matters to them, and it doesn't necessarily matter. If you want to skip breakfast, you can. What I like to do is if I'm like not hungry at all in the morning, I don't eat for a few hours. And then if I'm still not hungry, then I'll have 2 of those Chobani complete 20-gram Greek yogurts. Or I'll have like a casein protein shake, which is a slow digesting shake, and it keeps you full until lunchtime and very low in calories, and you get the job. It gets the job done completely, and you'll be good to go there. And then what you're gonna do is just go work out because you have some carbs in your system from that breakfast, and you're not eating this eternally depressing shake.
Protein that I have put into my gut during the time that I drink. It also provides me with fantastic hydration. I, in fact, put so much fluid in the shake and have such a well-calculated dose of electrolytes that I usually finish about half or 2/3 during the workout.
Wait.
As soon as that's done.
Wait. Okay, look. Exercise scientist, I get it. Nutritionist, get it. Although his PhD has been getting questioned recently. I like him. I think he gives pretty decent advice. But a lifting session is not going to be so drastically intense that it's going to strip you away of all of your electrolyte in your body. This is not doing shit for you. You could just drink water throughout the workout and you'll be just fine. It's going to hydrate you. I mean, bro, what are you going to war at the gym? It's not going to do anything. And by the way, his working out philosophy is having a 4-week cycle. And then the first week is you take it very easy at the gym. Second week, you make it a little bit harder. And then the 4th week is when you make it very hard. And then after that, the 5th week, you take a deload kind of essentially. And deloads mean you take a easy week of working out. So if he's in the beginning of that cycle, which is called a mesocycle, he's not going to need electrolytes because the workout is not intense enough. Like maybe if you're, running around in like 100-degree weather and you're sprinting and shit, yeah, maybe you'll need some electrolytes then. A lifting workout, it's not going to cost you that many calories.
Take the last swig on my ride home, come back, and then have my first actual post-workout meal. So this is a really good shake combo I like to use, and I think it works decently well. I've done a ton of stuff over the years with shakes, a little too concentrated, a little too watery, XYZ ingredients missing, XYZ too many ingredients. I've been on this for a while, and I really, really like it. Of course, in the RP Diet Coach app, it's just a swipe away from checking it in. I'm on to the next.
Working out with no music, huh? Looked like he went kind of hard with the workout, but still wouldn't cost you that many electrolytes. You don't need a ultra optimization shake throughout your workout. You don't need that if you're a regular person.
From the gym, good workout in, time to make the post-workout meal. I am maintaining / slow gaining after getting down to about 6% body fat. It's diet. And so I'm eating more or less almost the same thing I did on the diet, except buffered in with extra carbs. Mega fit meal. I have.
Okay, let's let him show the meal first.
Breast, veggies, and rice. Cup of water. I'll usually refill that a bunch.
Oh, yeah, you'll usually refill that a bunch because your food is so fucking dry. What is that? It's just chicken breast. Looks like just grilled or hopefully grilled. Looks kind of boiled-ish. The broccoli definitely looks boiled and just some plain white rice. That looks so depressing, dude.
Have it out of a bigger shaker. And then precisely 5 slices of dark rye bread, bringing the overall macros in this meal to
Yo, bro is eating just 5 slices of blank bread. By the way, he could have had this bread before the workout, which could have fueled him for the workout better than that shake. Like I said, he could have had some eggs. What is he doing, bro?
70 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 150 grams of carbohydrate.
Yeah, with those macros, you could do a lot better. You can, okay, let's actually take a look at these calories here. 349 calories from the pasta. Okay, it was measured raw. Okay, I don't know. I mean, so maybe he's using a meal prep service, so they probably have the macros here for it. It's cooked rice, but he tracked it as raw. So maybe they already have the calories written for it and what it is in its raw form. But 50 grams of protein from so P is like protein, obviously. 50 grams of protein from the chicken, 2 grams of protein from the broccoli, 7 grams from the rice, and 14 grams from the rye bread. So my question to Mike is, why the fuck are you eating 5 slices of bread by itself? This isn't the Renaissance period, my guy. Was the Renaissance period where people starved? I don't know. I tried to make a pun there because his channel is called Renaissance Periodization. But what the fuck are you eating 5 slices of? For 373 calories, you could have had, I don't know, some oats with some honey and some milk and a banana, and that would taste exponentially better, and you would still get carbs in there. You know what I mean? And it would taste so much better than what this is. Look, diets are about sustainability and enjoyment, and if you're able to enjoy the diet, you're gonna stick to it. If you're eating like this, you're gonna quit. I give you 3 weeks max, and then you'll be back at Taco Bell, stuffing your face, and then shitting the bed. I stole that joke from Dr. Mike, by the way.
Big post-workout meal, them big gains. And tastes like anything, better than anything I would make.
Tastes like fucking depression. You just ate half of a loaf of bread. Bro ate a half a loaf of bread with boiled chicken breast, boiled broccoli, and rice. And 17 cups of water because it's so dry and he keeps dry heaving and he needs some levels of liquid in there. You can make low-calorie sauces. Low-calorie sauces exist, right? You can use Greek yogurt, mix mayonnaise with it, and then throw in some lime and some garlic powder and a little bit of chipotle peppers with adobo sauce. Very low calories, and it tastes fantastic and adds moisture to your meals. Ever think of that? Ever think of, adding seasoning to your food so it's not so depressing?
So it's good enough for me. MegaFit, no affiliation with RP, but check them out. I've been using them.
Don't check them out. If they're selling this kind of fucking meals
for months. They are amazing.
Look at him. He's struggling to chew. No, it's not.
Done with eating. It's like noonish or so. Train, ate. Now it's time for me to do work. I usually do some kind of intellectual sit-down computer work.
Intellectual sit-down computer work with ChatGPT open.
It looks like that, unless I'm doing exactly this. So I'll do 3 or 4 hours of work. So let's get in there and do some work. See you guys for the next meal. All right, so for this meal, I am having a nice solid swig of decaf coffee because it's too late to be taking caffeine anyway, and I also typically just don't take in caffeine, but decaf coffee tastes amazing and actually has help. I'm having decaf coffee with leche, as the French say, which for me means pure protein, chocolate-flavored protein bars, precisely 4 of them for 80 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, 60 grams of carbs, but
He's trolling right now. Yeah, you're fucking with me.
Adding bread to that, currently bulking a little bit, so that adding 5 grams of fat, bringing it
4 bread and 4 protein bars for meal 2. Do you understand how many good tasting foods you could have had instead of those breads? Carbohydrates, fruits are also carbohydrates. You could have had fruits that also taste very, very good. You could have had, 2 bananas earlier. 2 pretty large bananas, 9-inch bananas, and they would add up to about maybe 300 calories or so. You could have had that instead of half a loaf of a bread. Now you're eating the other half of the loaf, and then you're eating 4 protein bars. Let's see what fruit or what food he could have replaced the fucking loaf of bread with. Okay, so carbs in a large banana, 31 grams of carbs. Okay, and as we know, 1 gram of carb is 4 calories, 124 calories for a large banana. So if, let's say, about 8 So almost 9-inch, just 9-10 inch, reaches like 150 calories. Okay, we'll say 31 grams of carb. You could have had 3 large bananas that are, this long or this much weight, 136 grams. Instead, you decided to dry heave a half a loaf of a bread. And also, you know how when you eat very filling foods, so like high volume foods that are low calories, fruits are also very high volume and low calorie. They take up a lot of space for very little calories. So let's see. Let's go with watermelon. Macros for 100 grams. Yeah, let's go 100 grams. Let's see what. Okay, 100 grams of watermelon is 7 grams of carbs. Okay, so for 7 grams of carbs, he could have had 12. He could have had more than a kilogram of watermelon. He could have had 1,285 grams of watermelon, which is, let's go, how do you do the conversion here? Let's go with divided by 1,000. Yes, times 2.2. He could have had 2.8 pounds of watermelon. That's very filling. 3 pounds of watermelon. If my math is not off, this is how much watermelon he could have had for 90 grams of carbs. And by the way, 90 grams of carbs is 360 calories. So he could have had 360 calories worth of any fruit. He could have had, 3 apples and still have had calories left over. Yes, he's bulking. So add in something else. Not all your calories have to come from carbs necessarily. And if he really wanted to, he could have, if he didn't want to get full, he could have had dried apples, which are very calorie dense. They don't take much space up in your belly. Yeah. So he could have had some dry apple, dry fruit. He could have had anything that tastes better than half a loaf of bread.
Add 5 grams to the fat, bringing it to 25 fats, and add the 90 grams of carbohydrate from the bread. So critical part of this meal, as you can see, is like a savage. I make my coffee, I know decaf's not coffee, by taking the hot water setting out of the faucet and just zapping in water. I get so much crap for this practice.
And he should. Bro, it's so late. It takes 5 minutes to take some water and put it onto the stove and boil it. It does not take that long. So why do you do this to yourself, Dr. Mike? Are you depressed?
Fresh. For all the coffee people, I just don't understand why. It's hot water. Sure, it's not actually hot. It's really kind of lukewarm, and I have low expectations for myself and everything around me.
There we go.
Why does that matter? Coffee's coffee. Am I right, people? It'll make an amazing midday decaf.
I love how self-deprecating he is. He's so funny.
So it really doesn't matter to taste. The only reason, by the way, guys, nutrition.
Decaf has caffeine, by the way.
I do this, it's liquids, and it tastes great. That's it. There's no magic. Splenda, your protein, love them. These bars are amazing. And
so let's take a look at meal 3. Meal 3, which is actually meal 2 because he didn't have anything for meal 1. We have 80 grams of protein, 25 grams of fat, and 150 grams of carbs. He could have had a much better meal for those macros. That's a lot of calories. This is 1,145 calories worth of depression. Might I say it again? Worth of depression. Okay. So let's see what he could have had for these macros. So to keep this quick, I asked ChatGPT. You can have 2 lean beef smash burgers. So 96 for 8 ounces of total. You can have 2 potato buns. Okay. So 2 burgers basically. You can have 2 slices of light cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickles, which doesn't add much calories, 250 grams of air fried potatoes, and some sugar-free ketchup. For 150 calories, 81 grams of protein, 99 carbs, and about 36 grams of fats. You might notice the fats are a little bit higher. Well, it doesn't necessarily matter because he's bulking right now anyway. The carbs, fats, none of this shit matters as long as the calories come out to be the same and you're getting enough protein. So this is much less depressing than this meal, okay? And let's say he's busy, you're busy, and we have a convenience factor. Well, let's come up with a meal plan for this meal with similar amounts of protein. Well, if you wanted to beat him in terms of protein count, let's take a look at Chipotle grilled chicken nuggets. By the way, very high in protein. 8 of them have 25 grams of protein. So if you were to just get 16 of them, that's 50 grams of protein. And then if you were to get 24 of them, that would be 75 grams of protein, which is pretty damn close to this meal here. I mean, it is 5 grams off. Okay. So 130 calories for the nuggets times 3 servings is 390 calories. That's pretty good, right? For 75 grams of protein. And then you have so many calories left over so he had what? So let's minus 1,145 calories. You would have 755 calories. You could get a fucking burger and some fries and oh, maybe not burger and fries. You could get some fries, like a big portion of fries, and that would cover up to these calories. Or you could get, I don't know, don't get fruits or anything but half a loaf of bread. Please don't do that again. 750 calories, 55 calories worth. Let's take a look at this menu here, okay? Explore all. Where's the food and the nutrition? So with the 700 calories left over, you could get some fries and you would still have 300 calories left over because the fries are only 420 calories. You could get some fruits, which would help get some carbs in. You could get a salad, which is very filling and only 470 calories. If you really wanted some chips, you could. You want chicken noodle soup? There you go. You could add that. You could play around with. These are numbers that you can play around with, and you would still get 1,145 calories for 80 grams of protein, 150 grams of carbs, and like I said, the fats and carbs don't matter much. 80 grams of protein, 145 calories. The fats and carbs can balance out or whatever. But yeah, you could have a very good meal. A berry parfait, 270 calories, has proteins, has healthy fats, and you would not be as depressed as Dr. Mike.
Spent another few hours working. Work is done for a little while. Cardio time. Typically do lots of steps during my workout. Between sets, I walk around the gym and do steps. I do steps going shopping, into and out of the car, the whole thing. And so I typically have about 4,000 steps a day out of my 10,000 daily step goal that I need to crank out one way or the other. A lot of times I walk around actually the hallways, apartment buildings. A lot of times I walk outside, though right now it's winter.
He walks back and forth in the hallway. The neighbors are so fucking confused. There's just a guy walking back and forth in the hallway. I would be scared if I was the neighbor. Just go outside, dude. Why are you pacing back and forth in your hallway? Why can't you just go outside or go on a treadmill and just walk? My lord. And you're like, you could, if you're at the, if you just walk down to the gym or walk outside, you could listen to a podcast and it would be the same as better than walking in the hallway, actually. You would be less scary and creepy. And you would also, if you go to a treadmill, if you have an access to a treadmill, you could put on a show or read a book and you could get your steps in that way and you're not as depressed. And Dr. Mike.
Michigan, so there is no outside functionally. And sometimes I go on the treadmill, kick it into about 3 miles an hour on steps and kick out the 4,000 steps. I'll listen to my headphones sometimes. I'll scroll on the phone, do whatever, get the cardio done. And then after that, I come back.
That's good.
It's going to be my second to last meal of the evening.
So yeah, I mean, getting your steps in on the treadmill if you can't go outside or whatever, fantastic idea. Hats off to Dr. Mike for this one. Look, he looks happy for the first time in this video. Maybe because he's not stuffing his face with a loaf of bread.
All right, folks, it is getting to be close to about 7 p.m., which means it is time for me to eat my second to last meal of the day. This meal is going to be another MegaFit meal, this time with some ground meat, some veggies, and my extra special edition of fat-free cheese. That's right, it makes sense.
It doesn't look as depressing as the other meals so far. The beef looks like it's been seasoned.
Everything better. Add in some whole grain bread, and we get a meal that is
more bread.
Macros.
More bread. He's trolling us right now. You could have had pasta with that beef and it wouldn't be so depressing. Look, bro, you have the cheese. The beef looks seasoned. Just add in some pasta. It doesn't take that much effort to boil pasta. And we have ready-made low-calorie sauces that you could get at the grocery store that you could just drizzle on. Wouldn't add too many calories, maybe like 40 calories. And it would taste fantastic. But no, you want to eat another half a loaf of... Yeah.
Flawlessly. 75 grams protein, 20 grams of fat, and about 100 grams of carbohydrate for this meal is definitely good.
Look, there's nothing wrong with bread. There's nothing wrong with carbs. I absolutely like bread and carbs. I just cannot fathom eating a loaf of bread per day. Just can't. I think my life should have more substance than eating a loaf of bread per day.
Going to be my last higher calorie meal of the day. As the last meal is really just a high protein, low carb, low fat snack. All right, I'm going to make this meal, sit down, eat it, and think about where I screwed up in my life to be like this, hopeless and alone and eating containerized meals. No, wait. I love this lifestyle. All right, guys. I'm going to be
More
finishing this
bread.
meal. I'll have to do a little
Oh,
bit
no. I thought this was another meal with more bread.
office, take some calls, walk around a bit, finish my steps. And then I will see you guys for my evening wind down routine. And my last meal of the day for me begins when my chill time begins. Usually I take about an hour in the evening on most days to watch, honestly, my favorite reruns of Justice League and Batman on Amazon Prime. And my favorite YouTube stuff, which usually includes military technology and AI strategy and other things that people don't want to watch with me. And so I have no friends.
Makes sense.
But I do have a new friend who doesn't know that I'm friends with them. It is the Twin Peaks ingredient company that makes this unbelievable product. Protein puffs that are nacho cheese flavor. And
I've heard of these before. I wanted to always try them. Maybe I should try them for a video.
you guys, they taste good. But wait, every serving, which is plenty of puffs, gives you 4 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs, whoa, not bad, 21 grams of protein. We have at RP or through my own private channels, absolutely zero affiliation, take zero money from Twin Peaks. You guys, that's most of the food I eat, just shit I buy, because it's fucking great. I need 3 servings to get me roughly 65 grams of protein.
Okay.
So
This is the only meal that I'll say is not so depressing. It looks pretty good. As something I would have not for a meal, but for a snack. This is not food if you're eating it as a meal. Snacks, a bunch of snacks together should not be a meal. Your meal needs to be varied with different types of foods so you can enjoy different things at different. If you like eating the same shit, that's not a problem, but like you gotta enjoy it, you know? So like, I mean, he's enjoying it, so that's good. But in my personal opinion, you should be having some levels of variety so your life isn't so depressing. But if you like it like this, that's fine.
I take these protein puffs and you'll never guess how I eat them. Come over to the couch where I will watch television and explain to you exactly how strange my life really is. So here's how messed up. I have a spoon in here and I eat these like a cereal, except there's no milk in there because they're cheesy puffs. So that might not be that bad. Ever tried it?
I can get behind that. You don't want your hands getting
Oh,
dirty.
it's so cheesy. I'm not smart enough or educated enough to figure that out. But what I do know is I can track all of this with the RP Diet Coach app, watch my favorite TV shows, and kind of my...
All right, so let's see the Pepsi. He's drinking Pepsi, 0-calorie Pepsi. That's cool, I guess. You could be having water, but no, he had all his water in the beginning of the day when he drank like a 2-gallon shake with chocolate fudge brownie, I think it was, with Gatorade powder and electrolyte powder. And now he's just drinking Pepsi. Could drink water.
Body gets in shape for me, other than the steps and the lifting and the organization and all that stuff. But it makes it way, way easier. All right, guys, I'm about to hit the shower, pack up, and go to bed. Let's do a quick day in review. 5 total meals in my RP Diet Coach app, all logged in for a sum total today. And on most days of his current phase, 3,685 total calories, 335 grams of protein, 60.
You could have had for 3,685 calories and 335 grams of protein. You could have had a very nice day of eating, but you decided to eat a loaf of bread, Dr. Mike.
5 grams of fat and 440 grams of carbohydrates. The calories get me right into a very slow gain mode. My maintenance is around 3,500. So at just over 3,600, I'm getting very, very slow gains, fatigue reduction, because I'm planning on doing another major cutting phase. Gee whiz, as of the filming of this video here in about 8 weeks, very slow massing, nothing crazy, no 4,000 or 5,000 calorie days for the most part. For protein, I'm eating about 1.5 grams per pound of body weight because I'm absolutely on special sports supplements and experimenting with this much higher amount of protein idea I got from Meta Henselman's my very good friend, an amazing person to check out on YouTube and social media. And that amount of protein is unlikely to help most people, but if you're enhanced, right now I'm gaining lots of muscle, could be a really good idea. For the fats, 65 grams of fat is at the low end, but remember, I don't need a ton of fats for hormonal production because my hormonal production probably occurs in a laboratory somewhere where they make exogenous testosterone for injection. And enough fat to satiate me and keep everything running, but not so much. And then 440 grams of carbs is a decent hit to the face of carbohydrates, keeps my glycogen levels full and refilled, keeps my insulin-mediated anti-catabolism really good, gives me tons of training energy. All around, I'm loving.
Because he's loving eating all this bread.
this diet, keep track of it all on my RP diet.
Imagine he tries a real meal. If he loves this, I wonder how he's going to feel about a good homemade meal.
App and shit is good. So I'm going to go and shower and go to bed. If you guys want the video of me showering and then going to bed with other men in a production studio in an 8-cam live stream setup, I'll see you on my other site that we also have. Give it a Google, but not at work. See you next time.
Yeah, that's it for this video. See you later. Basically, long story short, don't be like Dr. Mike. Don't be like him. You can have not so depressing meals or very low calories. If you're looking for convenience, there are very low calorie alternatives. Maybe I'll make a video on that. Highest convenient meals from fast food restaurants. You can have a healthy meal at McDonald's if you play your cards right. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.